For over 40 years, the Massey Theatre in New Westminster has played an important role in the development of live theater on the Lower Mainland. Good evening and welcome to Red's Classic Theater. Since the Massey Theatre opened in 1949, it's played host to a wide variety of community theater productions and top-named stars. And we'll show you more of the theater throughout the program. Our movie this week is Alfred Hitchcock's Lifeboat, starring Tallulah Bankhead and Walter Slezak. Hitchcock was known to enjoy a challenge, and this picture proved technically difficult as it was filmed entirely in an open boat in a large studio water tank. During production, Tallulah Bankhead caused quite an uproar on the set. Because most of her scenes called for her to be constantly wet, she decided on her own to remove all her underwear permanently. Well, Alfred Hitchcock didn't want to have anything to do with this, so he left the matter entirely up to the wardrobe department. And now here's Act One of Lifeboat. Red's Classic Theater is backstage this week at the Massey Theatre in New Westminster. The theater, third largest in the Lower Mainland, was built in 1949 as part of Vincent Massey Junior High School. Various groups used the theater over the years, including the prestigious Royal Winnipeg Ballet. And musical comedian Rolf Harris began his North American career right here in 1962. Since the formation of the Vincent Massey Theater Improvement Society in the early 80s, over $300,000 has been raised to make the theater a top-notch performing venue. Among the major improvements are a concert grand piano, new lighting and sound systems, and something appreciated by the performers, dressing room air conditioning. We'll have more about the Massey Theater right after these messages. There's a busy schedule of entertainment planned for the holiday season here at the Massey Theater, so mark your calendars for these upcoming events. December 4th and 5th at 8 p.m., enjoy the Gentlemen of Fortune Barbershop Chorus. December 11th at 8 p.m., the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra visits with a program of Russian romance music. And December 18th, the VSO returns with Holiday Harmonies, a Yuletide celebration with actress Victoria Tennant narrating The Nutcracker. For more information on these and other upcoming events, call the Massey Theater at 521-7430. And now let's return to Lifeboat. Hope you're enjoying Lifeboat on Red's Classic Theater as we visit the Massey Theater in New Westminster. For 20th Century Fox, releasing Lifeboat in the midst of World War II was a risky move. And it was viewed in some circles as being too sympathetic towards the Nazi character in the film. One Hollywood critic gave the film 10 days to get out of town. Because the action in the film takes place almost entirely in a lifeboat, it was felt that it would be impossible to have Alfred Hitchcock make one of his famous trademark cameo appearances. Now, he solved the problem by using his picture in a newspaper ad for a weight loss program. Actually, he'd lost 100 pounds on a crash diet and used his own photo for the before and after shots. The production had several harrowing moments for the cast, particularly Hume Cronin. Stormy seas were whipped up by huge wind machines, and hydraulic lifts rocked the boat. During one scene, Cronin fell overboard and was dragged into a large metal agitator. Most likely, Hume Cronin would have been killed except for a lifeguard who was posted for just such an emergency. And now, let's return to Lifeboat. Backstage here at the Massey Theatre in New Westminster, it's time to look at our mailbag. And please continue to send in your letters with requests for movies and suggestions of locations. Evelyn Cook from Richmond would like to see Kings Row, starring Ann Sheridan and Ronald Reagan. And Mary Lanceley from Victoria requested The Bells Are Ringing, starring Dean Martin and Judy Holliday. Don't forget our address for movie requests and suggestions of locations. It's Red Robinson, Television 12, Vancouver. That's Red Robinson, Television 12 in Vancouver. Coming up next week, Barbara Stanwyck gives one of her finest performances in the 1937 classic Stella Dallas. And 2 weeks from tonight, join us for exciting World War II action with Frank Sinatra and Trevor Howard in Von Ryan's Express. And something extra next week. We're going to give you the opportunity of winning tickets to the premiere showing of Robin Williams' new film, Toys. And Robin gets to work with director Barry Levinson. They work together in Good Morning Vietnam. So be sure to be with us next week. We'll tell you then how you can win tickets to Toys. And now let's return to Lifeboat. Hope you're enjoying our presentation of Lifeboat on Red's Classic Theater this week from the Massey Theatre in New Westminster. As tonight's picture was being made, 20th Century Fox was heavily promoting the career of Mary Anderson. She plays Alice in the film. But Hitchcock wasn't at all impressed with her abilities. Once when she asked the famous director which side was her best, he said, "My dear, you're sitting on it." Meanwhile, Hitchcock also had to contend with the antics of Tallulah Bankhead. She seemed to believe that Walter Slezak, who played the Nazi, really was a Nazi. The poor Austrian actor protested that he was only playing a part, but Tallulah became more and more abusive, both verbally and physically. Mind you, Slezak was no fan of Tallulah Bankhead's. When asked to describe working with the actress in Lifeboat, he described it as 15 weeks of water torture. To top things off, the alternating effects of heat, water drenching, and quick drying took its toll on the actors. Tallulah Bankhead contracted pneumonia not once, but twice during the making of this film. And now let's return to Lifeboat. From the Massey Theatre in New Westminster, it's time for our movie trivia quiz. In 1976, Alfred Hitchcock produced and directed his 54th and final film. Can you name it? We'll be back with the answer in just a moment. Here's the answer to our movie trivia quiz. In 1976, Alfred Hitchcock produced and directed his final film, Family Plot, a tongue-in-cheek thriller. It starred Karen Black and Bruce Dern. And now, let's get back to Lifeboat. Well, that concludes this week's edition of Red's Classic Theater. Hope you enjoyed Lifeboat, starring Tallulah Bankhead. Be sure to join us next Sunday night at 9 on Red's Classic Theater for one of the finest performances by Barbara Stanwyck in Stella Dallas. In the meantime, if there's a motion picture you'd like to see, or if you have a suggestion of a location, write to Red Robinson, Television 12 in Vancouver. And our special thanks to Ena Kitchen and the members of the Massey Theatre Group for hosting our show this week. And be sure to take in their holiday musical festivities here at the Massey Theatre. For more information on the shows and times, call this number, 521-7430. That's 521-7430. And join us next Sunday night on Red's Classic Theater for Barbara Stanwyck in Stella Dallas. Until then, from the Massey Theatre in New Westminster, good night, everybody.